People have an interest in learning different things. Folks love going through the library to find books about a certain topic, or just reading for their own entertainment, or grow their education alone. Or people just surf the internet or listen to audio clips on YouTube or Apple Stream or Spotify or whatever it is of a specific podcast that goes over a particular topic that grows their interest, whether it's in the entertainment world or historical value, political, or animals, you name it. People love learning about different things. I, for one, love learning about horror, UFOs, paranormal, stories of Egypt, Japan, China, uh, Rome, Greece, Italy, Jerusalem. I mean, I can go to the Bible right now and read all those biblical stories. I love stories. I'm a huge fan of storytelling. I love being invested in it. But I digress right there. But when it comes to historical value and growing their education, especially into a specific species of animals, we're going to go back to all those years ago. Actually, no, I take that back. All those decades ago. No, I'm going to take it back again. Centuries, a lifetime ago, before us humans, before the cavemen, before BC, before anything existed, there was the land of the dinosaurs. Now, dinosaurs to this very day, people are still discovering. Scientists are still going out there all over the world to look up different fossils, to learn different breeds that we didn't even know existed, but now do existed. Reconstructing and creating either technical models or physical actual replicas of the models with the real life bones or phony bones, fake stuff, to give a real replica, a representation, along with a historical documentation, thanks to the miracle of science, of what these dinosaurs were, whether they were omnivores, carnivores, friendly, ferocious, you name it. Dinosaurs are a popular thing in the entertainment world. Dinosaurs in video gaming. I love playing Turok. Great shit. But when it comes to movies, Jurassic Park is a great example. Godzilla, the Japanese version from, what was it, 1960s? Still, but when it comes to that being live action or CGI or 3D or claymation, whatever it is, but when it comes to the animation aspect, The Land Before Time is one of those particular pictures. Now, Don Bluth, the guy is a fucking gem when it came to creating animated films. An American Tale, All Dogs Go to Heaven, The Secret of Nim, this one, just to name, Anastasia. He didn't have a huge library of animated films, but with the films that he made in the 80s, they became very memorable because the thing is that Don Bluth, when it came to his storytelling, sure, the animation and the voice acting, the characters were all cute and everything, but that's from at least a kid's point of view perspective. But when it comes to the adults, the storytelling and learning exactly what's evolving and what people are actually seeing of what Bluth is giving to you all, it's real life shit that you can actually find a connection to. And that's one thing about what this movie really brings, is that this is one of those films that's targeted for everybody, children and adults alike. Because this movie itself, it has loving characters, but it has a very strong and touching story. But the thing is, no, let's just get right to the story, shall we? After a devastation earthquake and the cause of many dinosaur families being separated, Littlefoot is on a journey to the Great Valley where he will find food, water, shelter, and life. The guidance given to him by his late great mother, he meets some new friends along the way. You have Sarah, Spike, Ducky, and Petrie. Traveling into the great beyond, they also have to avoid the dreaded pterodactyl Rex, known as Sharptooth, from creating any havoc. So you got your main character. You got your supporting characters that you learn about their personality thanks to the narration. You got your villain. You got yourself a target. You got yourself a lot of things of what makes a movie as a whole. The narration, I'm going to talk about that before I go into a little bit more details about the other things. The narration alone is something that is not really brought into animation films, nor into a lot of movies in general, no matter what the case may be. Because the thing is, when you're given a narration, you are keeping track of what's going on. Sometimes when you're watching a movie, you want to know what's going on. When the narration comes in, they tell you exactly what's going on, what the mood is, what the characters are feeling, what the next plan is going to be leading up to the next scene. Narration is a big thing that I really respected a lot for this movie. The guy or whomever was narrating it, fantastic job keeping you track. Little things like that that make a big fucking difference when you are watching a movie. And I respect the narration a lot because it helps you understand and keep track of everything of what was going on. Now, as for the characters alone, they all have such unique personalities, and that represents something a person is proud of themselves and they can find a personal relation to. Now, the thing is, when it comes to Sarah, as with her though, is that she is tough, she's strong, she's full of courage, confident in everything. But the thing is that she is afraid to show that fear, that she is scared. She don't like being alone, and she actually does rely on Littlefoot and company to go on into the Great Valley. That she knows that she can't take care of herself because, well, she's afraid and she just doesn't want to admit it. And I've learned that it is okay to show fear. It is normal and proper to showcase that you are afraid of something and you are willing to admit it to those around you, friends or family alike, that you are afraid, and those people can help you adapt and fix that fear and becoming something that you don't have to be afraid of anymore. Sure, it takes a lot of mental requirements, but at the same time, it's something you adapt to and you learn to grow and it won't become a fear anymore. You grow much more confidence with that. So that's one thing I take away, and it's one of the big themes. Speaking of that, there was a lot of different themes throughout this whole story. You had grief, remembrance, guidance, hope, keeping faith in your loved ones, building friendships that become your family. These are all normal, realistic life things that us humans have to cherish. Because the thing is, folks, when you meet your friends and become your family, I've said, I mean, I made a quote about this a long time ago, and I'm going to say it here, is that, sure, friends may come and go. You meet somebody and they stay for a little while, but then they just go away like nothing ever happened. But once you meet a special person in your life, they relate to you and they stay and become your family. They no longer become your friend. They become your actual family. And that's one thing of Littlefoot's connections with everybody here when he met Spike, Ducky, Sarah, and Petrie, is that they all became his family. Despite the different breeds that they were, they all had one goal in mind, was that to get back to their families, to show their loved ones that they missed them and that they are happy to be with them in a better place. Just the whole entire premise that they're all together, that they are traveling as one unit, having the same type of feelings, emotions, relations. It's all normal, and it's very beautiful how all of them can connect. Sure, there was some entertainment and some charm in between, but on a serious note, they all had respect for each other and love. There was some dividing going on, which I will get to in a little bit, but at the same time, they managed to regroup and come back together and realize their differences. And that's normal enough when you are developing a friendship. There's going to be arguments coming along the way, but once that argument is settled, sure, you might be mad at each other for a little while, but you regroup. You talk it over, you get over the anger with one another, and you work things out, and it makes your friendship grow stronger. And that was one thing that was showcased in the movie. Real life shit is what Don Bluth brings to his movies, and in this instinct, he did that perfectly with this. But when it comes to your loved ones, your family, always keep them cherished, always keep fond, and love them. That was another thing that Don Bluth taught us in this film. The fucking animation is beautiful. It's colorful. There's grim, there's dark, there's calming, volcanic, blend of different colors that fits the mood. Amazing score. Amazing fucking effects that were put into the movie. It was beautiful when it came to entering the Great Valley. The opening factor when the earthquake happened. When they were traveling into the volcano. The eruptions. When they were going into a dark forest. The color scheme. Everything was perfect. It was absolutely fantastic. And I really admired the details, the in-depth details that were put into this movie fitting the moods. But when it comes to my negatives alone, Sarah's confrontation with Littlefoot, they were both having a disagreement about which way is the correct path to the Great Valley. Obviously, Littlefoot's way was the proper way. Sure, it was a little rocky, but it was. Sarah's way was incorrect because it was going into the wrong path, into a very dangerous territory. So they ended up having an argument, and Sarah said something to Littlefoot that honestly, something despite a disagreement, that is just something you don't necessarily say to a person at all. Now, when with their debate, with their little argument, I think that that particular scene could have been worked out just a little bit better. Instead of yelling and saying and seeing what Sarah said to Littlefoot, that could have been done a little bit better and not make it so harsh. So that's like my biggest negative I have with the movie. Other than that, though, The Land Before Time, it's got a simple story but effective. It's got a target that you are focused on. It's got, like I said, a title that fits perfectly and sums up many expectations to come into life and build the reality we live. This movie shows many different meanings that really bring comfort to a person. A story like this is made to touch everybody. So, The Land Before Time is a movie that I gave a 4 out of 5 to. It's a fantastic little gem that I truly recommend anybody to watch. This film is absolutely unique and definitely one of the best animated films of the 80s and one of Don Bluth's personal gems. So with that being said, folks, I hope you all like this little talk, and let me know your thoughts down below about this movie. And with that being said, ciao for now.